Good morning, everyone. Good to be back. Oh, that many people are busy with preparing for the initiation this weekend, so um, quite something to rejoice about. So we'll continue with contemplations uh, on the sufferings of the happier realms, perceivingly happy realms. And we just kind of start with coming into this session. So whatever we were doing before, maybe we were waking up, we were eating, we were having a small chat at home, or just leave that behind, leave that to the side. This is our precious 30 minutes of meditation. And we bring our attention to this moment, not thinking about what we were doing before, not thinking about what we're going to do after. Just bringing the mind to the present moment of this body sitting here. And we can become aware of our breath, the inhale and the exhale, the rising and the falling of the abdomen. And you see how the breath, it's there. We don't have to control it. The body's going to breathe. So it makes it easy as an object of concentration, just to watch, be an observer, to watch the breath and to develop our concentration. And we can bring to mind our motivation, the thing that gives our meditation its purpose or its power. So maybe our motivation is to contemplate the Lamrim, to contemplate the teachings, and through that become a better person, to increase our ethics, our ethical behavior, to reduce our anger slightly, to be kinder, to develop conviction in the teachings. So there's many things that are motivating us to be here. So with that motivation, we continue to look at the happy realms, the human realm, for example. And last week we were contemplating this aging process, and we go through this uncontrollable aging of the body, the mind, of the speech. So now we'll look at sickness. And sickness can come upon us at any time. It can be completely sudden. Mostly is, right? And that's when the elements of the body, they become unbalanced, so that the body becomes full of pain, and we have to stay in bed. We're unable to move. And it seems like day and night we would groan with pain. And it seems like it'll just go on forever. And we've all probably experienced having a flu. So we can imagine what this is like. So that's one form of sickness, right? Um, but we can also suddenly um, be in a car accident and be severely injured, or we can have a heart attack. So these are very abrupt, sudden sicknesses. And through those, we'll undoubtedly will experience this painful process. And there's the painful process of death from disease. And nowadays, we have um, we have various drugs like morphine and things like that that can help relieve the pain, right? Um, but they don't cure the sickness. They don't cure the disease. They don't cure the heart attack. But they do relieve the pain. And then there's these aspects of sickness where we're not allowed to eat the foods we like. Because those are the doctor's orders to get healthy again. And the doctor says these foods that I like, they're harmful. And then I'm prescribed these foods that I don't like. So this is another element of the suffering of sickness, not being able to do what I choose, what I like, what I enjoy. And then many times um, to try and cure the sickness quickly. Um, the doctors they might operate, but um, in these serious conditions and these serious illnesses, many times it's unlikely that the surgery is going to be beneficial. And going through the operation, it actually brings on more suffering and more harm. And it is true, right? Um, I bring to mind my mother and her siblings. So my mother, she's the youngest and relatively healthy. Um, and she tends to take care of the older siblings when they're ill. And most recently, my uncle, he had a brain tumor and had the operation. Uh, was okay, successful, but there's the side effects of the operation and the anesthesia giving him trouble with daily life afterwards. And then through that process, a bladder infection, and then that had to be treated, and difficulty with energy afterwards. Uh, difficulty with memory. So you see, you have one sickness, and then even when you're trying to do uh, the good thing to cure that sickness, then all these other sicknesses like tend to sneak in, and they make the life difficult, life painful. And maybe you have your own experience of that, where you have one illness and the doctor prescribes some medicine, and you take that medicine, and then that illness is cured, but then there was some side effect to that medicine, and now you have uh, a new problem, a new sickness that was caused by the medicine that's supposed to cure the other sickness. So it seems that the sickness in some shape or form is inevitable. And many times when our health is disrupted in this manner with a serious illness, then um, many times our friends, our possessions, our house, our relatives, they no longer make us feel happy. Interesting, huh? And no longer do they make us feel happy. Many times they appear um, as enemies or completely disturbing, and they turn into an object that we actually want to avoid or push away, rather than an object that we so much seek to desire. And then on top of all of this illness or disease and suffering, then we have this mental suffering of this worrying that um, that maybe this illness it's going to lead to our death. And think about that worry, huh? This worrying about death, about the disease, it can just completely override the mind, completely take it into a negative state. And if we do die, and we have this negative state mind of worrying, then it's very difficult, right? It's very difficult to have this mind that can navigate the bardo to see the path to another um, precious human rebirth, because we'll be completely diluted with fear, with worry, with confusion. We won't have this peace of mind at the time of death. So very important. But there's no way that we can not have that worry if we don't train it, we don't practice it. So the only way that we can do this is to continually contemplate the teachings again and again, to make them habitual and ingrained in our mind. And thinking that although we might be young and healthy at the moment, that's how it might be, but um, we're still subject to this sickness. It's kind of like when there's a few blue patches in the cloudy sky, right? Mostly cloudy, but there's a little blue over there, a little over there, and you're sitting outside, and you're sure that if you sit there long enough, yeah, you'll be in the path of that blue patch, and the sun will shine through. And it'll just be for a few minutes, and then it will pass. So it's similar to the sickness. At present, we're free of sickness. We feel great, and we're not in the process of dying. So it's kind of like this brief moment of the sun shining on our face through the cloudy sky. And we tend to attach a lot of importance to trivial shortcomings. For example, in our food or our living place. But these things are negligible compared to the realities of our situation, which we tend to ignore. So by contemplating on sickness, which is completely inevitable, we don't have the choice to not experience sickness. So through the contemplation, may we see the process as a ripening of karma. And since it's unavoidable, then we know it's going to come, and we can use it as an object of meditation, an object of contemplation to to understand that it's not a happy realm. There is suffering. So there's still some work to do. There's still some cleaning of the mind to do, cleaning of the karma. And we do that uh, best by thinking about others, by being kind to others, putting them first, thinking about how can we benefit them. And this moments of sickness can also be a good time to contemplate tonglen, taking the suffering of others and uh, giving them love. Also a good opportunity. So we can dedicate the merit that we've created during this meditation by all the contemplations that we've made. And we can dedicate it to all the beings that are sick, whether that's a friend or a family member that's sick, uh, an injured animal in the wilderness. No matter who they are, what they are, we can dedicate that. May their sickness not bring death at this moment, and may they purify that karma. And may that purification be completely sealed in um, that karma never ever repeat or ripen again. Thank you, everyone.